Happy Saturday, everybody. Happy Saturday. It's 4 hours till midnight here in the heart of the Rocky Mountains, also known as the Spyderco capital of the world. And I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be live. I'm excited to be alive. And I'm excited because it's been a week. It's been a week since the last time I went live, which was this time last Saturday. It's been a week because this week I was sick. Yeah. You know what? Like, I pride myself in having a pretty good immune system. You know, I don't get sick often, but every time I do, it is the worst. It is the worst because not only do I feel bad, but then, you know, all the women folk tend to mock us and say, "Oh, you're feeling a little ill." Like, here we go again. It was awful, guys. I woke up in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., shivering uncontrollably. It was bad. And then I could not get back to sleep. And so about an hour, 2 hours later, I started sweating uncontrollably. And it just kept going back and forth. It was awful. So there I am on like 3 hours of sleep because, like an idiot, that night I'd stayed up till midnight working on the channel. And I should have called off work. And I didn't. I didn't call off work. I was working from home. And I felt miserable all day. And all day long, it was off. My head felt like it weighed 20 extra pounds. My equilibrium was off. I couldn't smell anything through my nose. The right side of my hearing was gone. And I had a cough. And I worked throughout the day like an idiot. Because I am a glutton for punishment, apparently. And I get to work and I realize if I do a live stream, it's going to be an absolute shit show. I'm still not 100%, but I am about 90%. And that's good enough. That's good enough for me. You can't keep me away from my live stream. 2 live streams in a row. You just can't. I won't allow it. I won't. So to everybody who wished me well, thank you. The worst of it was gone in about a day and a half. And we'll be right as rain come Monday. I'll be 100%. I do think it's ironic though, because here I am, like, I finally caught up with the content, with the review content that I needed to make. I finally caught up with it. I'm like, all right, now I'm going to start focusing on some other stuff. And then I get sick, knives roll in, and I'm behind once again. It's a good problem to have. But yeah. So if you're wondering how my week went, that's how it went. But with that being said, it's time to go ahead and pop into the live chat. Let's see where we're at with the live chat. Oh my goodness, we got people piling in. We're already up to 24 people. I thought we would have a very small live today. Thank you guys for coming in. We're going to go ahead and machine gun these out. Shout out to Bluetooth Blades, first person in the chat tonight. Also a channel member, also a channel in his own right. Make sure you go ahead and check out Bluetooth Blades. He says, "Rollo, can you go 2 hours tonight? That would be sweet." Damn it, Marco. Listen, if I can go 1 hour without coughing my vocal cords out, that'll be a win for me. But I mean, I've got my water. We're staying hydrated. You know, I did the old stage. What is it called? It's an old, I don't even know if this is legitimate or not, but apparently some performers, before they go on stage, will take a tablespoon of olive oil, and it's supposed to lubricate the vocal cords. And so that's what I did. I'm trying to mitigate the cough that I've been surviving with. So hopefully that works. I will go as long as I can. I can't promise 2 hours, but I will do my best. Shout out to Marco. Shout out to my man, Jim Miller. Shout out to Chris Warris. Sterling Stutes in the house. Knives Are Life. Top Dog. Hey, welcome in, Top Dog. Good to see you. He said it's a party with raisins and everything. Man, I was so excited to see you, and then you had to mention the raisins. I'm just kidding, man. Raisins are not. Good to see you, Top Dog. Thanks for joining in. Welcome into Joseph S. All right. Lone Star Towboy says, carry of the day, Cold Steel Tiger Claw, the Kaiser Escort. The we be the illest in here. Nice, man. Nice. Carrie, thanks for joining in. Good to see you. Ed B in the house. Craig Vincent. I'm going to try to not cough all over the microphone. It might be tough. Welcome into Rainy. Good to see you, Rainy. Oreo Dave. Excuse me. I Spartan coughed. Hey, welcome into Darkwater Actual. Another channel in the house. Make sure you check out Darkwater Actual. He says, glad you're doing better, Roll. Yeah, man. You know what? I'm not 100%. I will take 90% over the 30% that I was at 7 days a week, twice on Sunday. I swear. Yeah, I'm definitely better, and I'm glad to be alive. Ian Coates says, Roll sick with the COVID or something. I don't know. I don't know because I didn't get tested. I work from home, so I didn't get tested. But the only time I've ever truly lost my sense of taste and smell was the couple times when I got coronavirus a couple years ago. And this time I lost my sense of taste and smell. So, like, I even took the Allegra to, clear the sinuses, and I still couldn't taste or smell anything. So, was it the Rona? Maybe. I don't know. I feel fine now, though. I'll tell you what. Welcome into AJ. Good to see you. Hey, Bluminati Ninja in the house. What's up, Blue? Good to see you, brother. All right. I think I'm all caught up. Was that record time or what? Did I say hi to Neil? What's up, Neil? Good to see you, man. All right. I'm scrolling. I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. All right. So Miranda says honey. Yes, I'm out of honey. And the reason why I'm out of honey is because I like making chicken, sriracha, honey chicken, bacon salad. Like, I'm not a huge salad guy, but you kill two barnyard animals and you add spice and sweetness, and I'm game. So I'm out of honey, but I do have olive oil. And I know, because I heard this from a stage performer, a singer, they said a tablespoon of olive oil before you perform, and it's all gravy. And so I've always done that. I did radio for a couple years, and that was something that I always did. Does it actually work? Is it a placebo? Beats me, but it's my thing. So that's what I do. Ian Coates says, new loss of taste and smell is pretty telltale sign of COVID. It could be, it could not be. The weird thing is that, like, most of the symptoms lasted a day and a half. Like, if it was COVID, it was the fastest burning COVID I've ever run into. I've had COVID twice before. Neither time was that serious. It was just exhausting. Chris Warris says, just got over the Rona 2 weeks ago. Hey, man, congrats to be on the other side. Remember when the country shut down for that and everyone was so terrified? I'm glad that that's under control now. I don't know if I can go through another shutdown. Ian Coates says, Roll, I hate to say it, but 99.9% of repeating percent sure you had COVID. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to be one of those people that assumes, but, like, you know what? I bet it was. And then you spend the next however much time convincing yourself. Like, I was sick. I felt awful. It was the worst sickness that I've felt in years. But the flip side of that is that the suffering was really only a day and a half. So that's the good news. It burned hot and fast, and it was gone. Jim Miller says, flu makes everything taste like crap. It's been a while since I've actually had the flu. Ian Coates says, I'm just glad Roll isn't on camera in a mask. I refuse. Although I have been told that I have a face for radio. Addicted to Blades, welcome in. Be Devious, welcome in as well. Lanyard Man says, trying to get my hands on a dead Reckon knife because I watched your video. Thanks, man. Dude, the dead Reckon Ridgeback is really, really cool. It is so much more different than a regular button lock that people don't even understand. The roller bearings, the fact that it's an integral, and I know Machine-Wise has their $600 Sonora, which is available, or at least it was last night when I was just trolling the interwebs. And that's an integral button lock. But the guys over at Dead Reckon did a really phenomenal job. And for the nerds, and I consider myself a nerd, that does the research, you will find that it's actually pretty hard to find a really good integral American-made button lock with roller bearings. I think it might... I shouldn't say that it's the only one, because it's not. It's not the only one, and I'm 100% positive that Dead Reckon actually OEM'd the half-face blades, SHPOS. I know they've done some OEM work for other companies, but they're very quiet about who. But when you look at the construction of the knife that I just mentioned, it's identical as far as the pieces and the parts and how it's put together. It's identical. So I'm positive that Dead Reckon was the OEM for half-face blades on that knife. But not that it matters. Nobody knows about that knife anyways. Or if they do, they just don't care. Let me go back to the chat here. Craig Vincent says, I didn't make it here last Saturday because of a, ready? Tornado. We don't get tornadoes in Connecticut. We only had like 3 of them in my 62 years of living here. Dang, man. Well, Craig, I'm glad that I'm glad that you got out of it okay. I'm hoping that your house and your family's living situation is fine. Tornadoes can be scary. I've only ever lived. I'll put it to you like this: Colorado is the farthest east I've lived in my life. Colorado, Idaho, Oregon. You know what all 3 of those states have in common? Oh yeah, Montana. I was in Montana for a little bit. You know what all 4 of those states have in common, actually? All 4 of them have notable knife makers in them. Oregon has Kershaw. I know Oregon has more than that, though. Oregon has more than Kershaw. Kershaw is notable. They count. Idaho has what? Chris Reeve, Koenig. Idaho has so many notable knife makers. Montana. And then, of course, Colorado, the Spyderco capital of the world. Irony. And here I am. Ian says, I was part of the sheep that wore a mask that believed it did good. Then it went on, and I began to hate masks. Man, I wore a mask, and I'll tell you why I wore a mask. Because I was, at the time, the job that I had required it. And I wasn't about to put my family's well-being on a political stance. Like, it was being required in the workforce at the time to wear it. I had to support my family. I was going to wear it. Did it help? Did it not help? I don't know. It was just a crappy time for the country in general. I don't like pointing the fingers, politically speaking. I don't use my channel to talk about sports or to talk about politics. But I will say this. I don't think that helping people should be politicized. I don't think that things like vaccines and drugs should be politicized. I think that assigning a political party to something like that is a big mistake. And I think that at the end of the day, as long as we hold our pharmaceutical companies accountable, and we also make sure that we do more than just complain. Guys, I'll say this: no matter who you vote for, vote. The biggest people that tick me off in politics are the people that complain, but they don't get their butt up to go and vote. If you're going to complain, you need to spend that same energy and go and cast your vote. And if you're not willing to do that, you should probably just not complain. That is the most politics that I will talk on this channel, and I promise that. So, Ian also follows up with, I've never been through any natural disasters, no earthquakes, no twisters, obviously no typhoons or hurricanes. Yeah, you know what? In the western side of the country, most of what I've seen natural disaster-wise was wildland fires. Growing up in Oregon, I can tell you that I still have family there, and they were very nearly evacuated because of all of the wildland fires going on in Oregon this year. Absolutely ridiculous. And you know what happens is, especially with wildland fires, is that you'll have a couple rough summers, and then you'll have like nothing because everything is burnt. But you get something called type 1 fuel, which is, your cheatgrass, your weeds, your fast growing stuff. And that stuff grows fast. It dries out fast, and it becomes very flammable very fast. And then all of a sudden it can spark, and you have thousands of acres on fire. Anyways, big wildland fire season out there in Oregon. Shout out to all the firefighters out there. And, you guys have my love and respect and support 100%. Rambo Adventure says, if Oregon did not have Portland, it would be a great state. Oh, I'm not from Portland. I'm from the eastern side of Oregon. The rural Oregon is where I'm from. And the funny thing about that is that I've heard that so many times in my life. Had to laugh. All right. All righty. I'm just reading through the chat. I got a one-track mind today. I'm not multitasking too well. Ah, that's right, benchmade. I always forget about benchmade because I don't buy their knives. Benchmade's also in Oregon. CRKT is in Oregon. Gerber is in China. Oh man, that's funny. Miranda says, mad fires here every summer. The smoke sucks. The smoke is awful. It's true. A Rambo Adventure says, Northridge earthquake plus many more tornadoes, ice storms, softball size hail, lightning storms that make it look like daylight, typhoon in the Philippines, and a coup in Thailand. Man, no wonder you've got all the fixed blades. You never know what you're going to need, a robust cutting implement for in conditions like that. I would carry all of it and probably more. Chris says Buck is in Idaho. Yeah. Buck, Koenig, Chris Reeve. I know this one's going to piss some people off because, of course, we all found out that not all of his knives are made in the U.S., but Hoback, also in Idaho. I haven't heard a whole lot from Hoback Knives recently. Is that still a company? Did they get canceled? Were they successfully canceled? Lanyard Man says, when's your knife design coming out? I know it seems like every creator with any kind of following designs a knife. I would love to design a knife. The time for that is not now. My focus is 100% on this channel. Will I design a knife at some point? Maybe. I have thoughts. I have ideas. What I've learned watching my peers in the YouTube content creation circle, what I've learned is timing is everything. timing is everything. If you rush it and you release at the wrong time, and it's a pre-order and you've got a lot riding on it, if it flops, it can be painful to your reputation, to your wallet. Sometimes you commit to a certain order amount and the pre-order doesn't support that. But also, I've been kind of doing my research in the general public, and there is a large amount of people that are burned out by content creator knife designs. And so the question that I have isn't, do I want to? The question is, should I? Because my main focus is, of course, the growth of this channel. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, and we have a long ways to go. Right now, we're at 8,600. So what? I'm 91,000 away. That's what I want to do. I want to get the channel to a place where the channel is a name for itself, a household name in the knife community. I would love that. I work tirelessly on this channel to make that happen. That is my goal. And if I deviate from my vision, my concern is that I spend more time on things that are secondary passions, like designing a knife. That would be a secondary passion. And not as much energy on the things that truly matter to me, like growing the channel, growing this community. So I have a rough idea of what my knife would look like, but I haven't pursued it past that because, one, I don't know if the community is burned out on content creator knife designs. Two, financial risk. And three, the biggest one is that it would draw my focus away from what's most important to the direction of this channel. Hey, shout out to Pocket Razors. There's an organ man for you. Good to see you, Pocket Razors. Thanks for dropping by. Ian Coates says, this is hypothetical. This hypothetical pre-order. Are you dogging on the Tri-Stash? No, not at all. Not at all. I think that the Tri-Stash is a great looking knife. I love the fact that it is a button operated frame lock. I love the fact that it has knurling on the handle skills. I'm a big fan of the Sachs style blade shape or Warncliffe style blade shape. I just don't have the money to throw at one, to be honest with you. And by the time it would have, I'm not reviewing the prototype because by the time it would get around to me, like the pre-order was done. I'd be reviewing a knife that people had either pre-ordered or not. It wouldn't be a relevant knife for me to review at that point. So that's why I didn't do a review of the prototype. There were so many other channels that were already in line to review it that I would have just been like, I still put it to you like this. I still wouldn't have it in my hand today if I had signed up for the pass round on it. So I just didn't see it as a relevant piece of content to focus on. Plus, my main focus on knife collecting this year is American-made knives. And I'm going to be making an episode on why. And it's not because I hate Chinese-made knives. I have most of my collection is made in a country that's not the United States. But there's a very good reason why I am starting to focus in specifically on spending. If I spend money, I want to spend money on American-made knives. It's not because I think that American-made knives are the best, because in many cases they are not. But keep your eyes peeled because there will be an episode coming somewhere in the near future on why my focus has shifted. That should be a good one. I shouldn't give away the deets just yet, but that's coming. TLDR, no, definitely not dogging on the Tri-Stash. Shout out to Cole for having the cojones to do that, because it is a financial risk, and it is definitely one of those things that you can end up regretting putting a pre-order out there if it flops, and it's extremely stressful when that happens. So it takes some cojones to do that. Shout out to Tri-State. Miranda says, ordered the new Kunwu Compadre, and it's going to be here Monday. Stoked, can't wait. That's the compact Padre, right? I know a lot of people got in on that. Congrats. Ian says, if you want the numbers, you'll have to sacrifice your authenticity. If you want to remain authentic, you may not get numbers. You know what I've learned is that the channels that grow the farthest are the ones that continue to grow as individuals in their channel. My authenticity is something that I can't sacrifice. It is, I'm so opinionated. It's either going to work or it's not. The proof is in the pudding. What I've noticed is when channels plateau at a certain point, it's always because they are not willing to take the steps to continue to evolve their channel. I was looking at my oldest videos last night for inspiration. I do this sometimes when I feel like I'm stuck in a rut, or I need some inspiration, or I feel like the last 3 takes on an episode that I did were just bad. I'll go back and I'll look at my first handful of videos. And you know what? Shout out to any of you guys who have seen my first handful of videos. If you go to my channel and you sort the video page by oldest, if you watch the first handful of videos, just know that I'm sorry. They are not very good. And when I say they're not very good, I mean, like, my very first video was of the Chavez Redemption 229 Street. And I've got, like, I was so nervous to be recording my first YouTube video on the channel. I had sunglasses on, you know, like it was really corny. And I was trying really hard to portray this air of confidence that I just didn't have. And you can tell. But so I watched my first 5 videos. And I'm like, wow, that was awful. And then I watched my last 5 videos and I said, you know what? Growth does happen. And when I look at channels that stagnate, and you look, 2 years in the past, and then you look to their most current, what you'll notice is that almost always the channels that stop growing in audience stop growing as individuals first. That's when a plateau happens. So if to any of you guys out there who are new channels, that would be my advice to you. Just never stop growing, never stop evolving, and you'll continue to grow, not just as an individual, but also as a community in your own channel. That's just something that I've learned. And I don't even know if people even care, but there we go, on another tangent. Hey, shout out to my man, Javon. Javon in the house. Javon Knife Flicks. Good to see you, man. Welcome in. Ian says, pre-order for the Tri-Stash was, in my honest opinion, too quick. Timing is everything. I have watched and observed, and that is the number one takeaway that I've had, is that timing is the most important thing. Aside from making sure that it's a design that people actually want. Personally, I think it's a cool design. Craig says, I'm making a few knives for myself just for fun. Nice, man. Some fixed blades. What steel are you gonna use? Josh says, sounds like me when I went into the back room of Blockbuster. Bluetooth Blade says, okay, Rollo, wake up, buddy. Am I still asleep? I might be. I feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? I'm probably missing a lot. Rambo says, Tri-State wishes he had Roll's voice. Tri-State can have it whatever voice he wants. He's done a really good job of identifying his channel personality, and that is a choice. That is definitely a choice. For me, I just try to be as authentic as I can and true to who I am, because it's so the difficult part. I think for a lot of channels is when they are acting like something that they are not. That is it's really hard for anyone to do that for long, because that takes a lot of effort. It's easy to burn out doing that. Javon says you could choose to be authentic or suffer long-term consequences, i.e. people will realize you are not genuine. This is true. Plus, imagine the mental toll it takes to create a persona that you have to keep up. That just sounds exhausting. Ian says Cole and Ray are successful in their own right, but nothing like MC or EDM, everyday minimalist or metal complex. Yeah. You know what? Give it time, man. Give it time. There's this idea that channels either make it big right away or not at all. When it comes to the knife community, it takes time and it takes growth. Sometimes I'll go back. I'll admit it. I've looked at Jared Neve's first video, Metal Complex's first video, and when you look at those guys, their initial videos, and then you look at their new stuff, you just realize the amount of growth that happens, and they are continuing to grow, which goes back to my initial point of, as long as you continue to grow as an individual, everything will be all right. And I truly believe that. Hey, shout out to Transparent Knives. He says, in my opinion, adapting isn't the same thing as selling out or being inauthentic. When a basketball player changes his style slightly to win more, people don't criticize them for being inauthentic, but there's a balance. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying. There's a difference between adapting or growing and selling out. For example, I'm going to put this out there. Right now, there's this belief in the knife community that you have to do a video a day at least, plus shorts every week to grow. And so what you have is a bunch of channels that push out an insane amount of content. Did you know that if you were to go to any other niche in YouTube, they would consider one video a week to be a lot, let alone one video a day? So what happens? You end up with a bunch of people who are taking the hard stance on quantity over quality. And I have nothing against anyone that takes that stance. If you are a quantity pusher, I totally get it. That is your strategy. But what you end up with is a two-dimensional piece of content that you don't have the ability to branch out from. And the problem is that when you have so many channels taking the stance, you end up with a lot of videos, and you might make 20 and then have one that performs really well. Or your personality has to do a lot of the heavy lifting. So what people struggle with when they take on that mindset of, oh, I've got to do a video a day, what they struggle with is allowing their personality to be the difference maker. They're like, oh, I've got to talk about the specs. I've got to talk about this. I got to talk about this. And they forget that the reason why people watch is for the person behind the camera, the voice behind the microphone. Yeah, we want to see knives too, but if you make it boring, I'm not going to watch. That's my stance. So that's one of the reasons why I put in the extra work to do more than just over the top down view. Like I take pictures, I take B-roll, I do cut tests in my videos now, and sometimes the cut test is just to show something that's important to me, because cutting geometry to me is one of my favorite things on knives. But I just want to see people be more creative in general. I want to see more creativity. I want to see more personality. And I challenge myself to do that as well. Because sometimes I get stuck in a rut and I get to the end of a recording and I'm like, what happened? Did I talk about anything other than a checklist? Where's my personality? That's one of the reasons why Nick Shabazz is so cool, because you get his personality in every second of his videos, and it's really entertaining. Plus, the accent's cool too. D. Devious says we need more Nick Shabazz content. I agree. The man has done a lot. He's done a lot. It says Roll doesn't know shit. Hopefully, we are fortunate enough to get 2 hours tonight. I will do my best to give you guys as much as I can. Honestly, it just comes down to when my voice decides it wants to go, or I might just start sounding like a a seasoned smoker. You start getting when my voice starts sounding extra gravelly, you'll know. Bluminati Ninja says, wait, so I shouldn't be a ninja? You do you, man. You should definitely be a ninja. Ian says, I have so many friends in this community, and I want nothing for them but success. Absolutely. Jay says, Roll's voice changer is just deeper, that's all. Oh, man. You're getting me. You're getting me. Rebel Rouser, good to see you, man. Welcome in. Darkwater, you have a good rest of your night, man. We will catch you on the flip side. All right. I'm bouncing all around the chat. I'm sorry, guys. But you know what? It's not just about me monologuing. Let's go ahead and check out the members only Discord, which, before I switch over, I'm going to put a poll in the chat because I'm considering something. I'm considering changing the members only Discord to a channel wide Discord and then having a different spot for channel members, but making it so that only current active channel members can be a part of that. What do you guys think? I'm going to start the poll right now, and the poll is going to be, should I make the members only Discord open to all? If I do this, and there's no guarantee that I'll do this, whether the poll says yes or says no, I'm just thinking out loud here. But if I were to do this, I would replace it with something else for members only. So members would get something else and the Discord would be open to all if I decided to do this. But let me know what your thoughts are. The poll should be up at the top of your chat. Let me know, guys. And in the meantime, boom, here we are on the members only Discord. Let's go ahead and check out some of these pocket checks. All right, we're gonna just go ahead and scroll down to today. Of course, it's so hard to scroll past Barbarian Brawny, especially when he's got the knife that I want. He's got the Chris Reeve Noom's on drop point. That's the one, baby. That's the one. Look at that. It's only Chris Reeve could make a knife so simply, so well, and so beautiful. The subtlety of the Noom's on. Love that knife. I'm gonna have one. At some point, I will have one. Ian Coates. Is that that's a whole bunch of patches. Cool patches, though, man. Let's see. Rainy's got the... I'm not... That's got to be a... I know what that is. It's a tie light, right? The Chris tie light? Yeah. We've got a Big Brown Bear 15V Shaman. We've got what I'm assuming is a sharpshooter jack in the Snowfire, and a Swiss Army knife, the Vero Fulcrum. I'm not going to try to identify the watch because I am not a watch snob. I do like them though. Crazy Roach says felt like carrying something small. have no idea what that is. I just know that it's a tack ray. That's crazy, man. It looks like it's super slicey though. Is that a folding kitchen knife? Looks good. Chris Waris, he's got the Tempest. Wow. I've been away. That is it's not the Jetstream. It's not the Microburst. I know this. It's the Fractus, the Tempest Knives Fractus, right? Not sure on that QSP model. Let's see. One Sneaky B. He's got the that looks to be like a EMP EDC Nimble 2. And I'll be honest about this one. I have no idea what this other one is. The one with the blue pivot. I am not familiar with that. What is that? I feel like I should know. Dazed coming in hot with he's got a pair of 3, a paramilitary 2 with the Applied Weapons Tech clip. It's either always sold out or they only did a limited run and they never came back with them again. But that orange clip on that paramilitary 2 is one that it's a aluminum clip from Applied Weapons Tech. And I check back periodically and I never see it available. Why is that? I want to try out that clip. It looks great. I need one. And they're not super expensive either. All right. Darkwater's got the Civivi Vision FG. The ivory with the Damascus. Looks good. Doggo's in the background. Ed's carrying the Winterblade Severn. What a fun knife, man. What a fun knife. I loved the Severn when I reviewed it. It was so cool. And then Jeremy Nidro's got the Kunwu Pulsar. Right? Kunwu Pulsar? Yeah. Nice, guys. If you want to know what I carried today I carried a knife that I believe boxes far above its weight class. The TRM Neutron 2 in the 3D milled and contoured titanium lizard skin handle scales. And this one is so cool because it's the DLC version with the black G10 backspacer, which they don't really do very often. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen them do another drop of this specific knife in this specific configuration. It was the only drop with the DLC coating with the black backspacer that I've seen. I'm going to say this. I think that this Neutron 2 is a single 3D milled lizard skin textured and contoured pocket clip away from competing with knives that are easily twice as expensive. It's my opinion. You're welcome to disagree with it, but I got to say, this has been my favorite knife all year long. The titanium DLC Neutron 2. Absolutely love it. And then, of course, I carried a new guy. This just came in. This is the American Blade Works Model 2. I finally got one. Yes. Man, look, I don't know if you could say that this is the flagship model for American Blade Works, but I think that it is. I definitely think that it is. It feels really well done. It needs thumb studs. That's my only complaint. I'm ruining my review early for everybody. The only thing that this needs is thumb studs. Mike Martin, American Blade Works, start putting thumb studs on your Model 2s, please. Please. I would even be okay if they chopped the flipper tab and then only gave us thumb studs. I think that would work too. I wouldn't require it. I like having both. So at some point, I'm going to have to put thumb studs on this thing. But yeah, that was my carry today. The Neutron 2 and the Model 2. 2 2s. 22 is my lucky number. And there we go, guys. That was my carry. What did you carry? Feel free to pop it in the chat. I'm going to check on that poll, though, because I'm really curious to see 63% say yes, 37% say no. 30 votes so far. Ian says, did you buy that ABW from Brad Thompson? No, I did not. I did not. I got this from my buddy Mike over at Knife Co. USA, who I'm doing a giveaway with here soon. Not for this knife. This one's mine. But he asked me, he's like, is there anything in stock that you'd like to review? And I said, yeah, the American Blade Works Model 2, but don't send it. He said, why not? I was like, because if you send it, I'll want to buy it. And he said, maybe we can do a swap instead. So I traded him a knife, and I got this in swap. And I got to say, guys, love it. Haven't reviewed it yet. I'm ruining my review already. Absolutely love this knife. This one is fantastic. Another notch in the American knife collecting target this year. The American Blade Works Model 2. So good. So good. And it pairs well with my button lock Model 1. Hey, welcome into Brian Whited and Paul Mills. Thanks for being a channel member. Welcome into Mr. Eddie as well. And Knife Nut 69. Good to see you, man. Thanks for dropping in. All right. All right. Come on, chat. I'm trying to catch up on my chat. There it goes. It just jumped. Ian says, I need an American Blade Works. Yeah, so I got two. This is the third one that I've owned. I had two Model 1s. I sold one. And this is the third, the Model 2. Let me, hold on. So, these are my two American Blade Works knives. And I gotta say, guys, as far as the value you get for a titanium premium material level American made knife, they are the best value. You're not going to get contouring, but you are going to get really good milling. And the reason why I kept the button lock Model 1 over the frame lock Model 1 is because I feel like this is an update quality wise. I don't know if you can see that, but you can actually see the 3D milling lines or the CNC milling lines on that grind, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Also, being the button lock, it's the best action of all of the American Blade Works that have been released. They're not known for their super fidgety action. Like, these are knives that are built to be workhorses. They have extremely good cutting geometry behind the edge. They're really, really good as far as tools are concerned. Are they the quality level of something like this? No, but they're also not the price either. This guy over $400, just over $300. Same thing, just over $300. But they're really, really good. That you get 3D milled titanium pocket clip, titanium backspacer, cryo treated magna cut. The only thing this is missing is a thumb stud. That's it. And as a flipper only, it's not bad either. The benefit of not having a thumb stud there is that when you go to sharpen it, you're not going to run into a stud. There's nothing in the cutting path. But I do think that it would benefit from that extra deployment option. It would just take it the next level. Hey, welcome into Nobody Listens to Eric. Good to see you, man. He says, agreed, also the Model 2 is never available. So this very same one was available. I actually showed it in the live stream. And I mentioned it. I said, guys, you should hop on that. And then my buddy Mike, who runs Knife Co. USA, said, why don't you just review it? You haven't reviewed it yet. You win, Mike. Now it's mine. Now it's mine. I did trade him for this knife, though. He didn't give it to me. I did trade him for it. But it was available. It was available on Knife Co. USA. I gave the community that watches my live streams the chance first to buy it. Nobody did. So I snatched it up. And I have absolutely no regrets because these are hard to get your hands on when they are available. Usually they sell out. For a good reason. Jim Miller says, Roll, I took an outdoor pick and you skipped it. No. Hold on. Hold on. Where is it? How did I skip it? Today's the 10th, right? Was it before? It must have been before today. Hold on. I'm scrolling up, Jim. I need the American dream in my life. Where is it? Maybe I just need to refresh the page. Why am I not seeing it? I'm in the right channel, right? I'm in Pocket Check. This is a cool one from yesterday. Look at that. That's a REK Reblade. Fantastic. Jim, I'm looking for it, man. I promise you, if I skipped it, it was definitely not intentional. All right. I'm going to refresh. Hopefully it's up. Jim Miller carried the Ornizio Fixie, the Tempest Microburst, and the Kubi Tidius. Very nice. I wish I could see the picture. John Blackman's got a look at that thing. That is crazy, man. What is that? A railroad tie that's been twisted and then sharpened? That's insane. I love it. Talk about a hell of a fixed blade. That is robust. Absolutely robust. Yeah, Jim, I don't see it, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm just blind. I'm sorry, man. I definitely didn't mean to skip anything. Mr. Eddie's got a nice carry today, too. Look at that. Is that a DSK Tactical? I'm not sure what this one on the right is with that mean hawkbill blade. And I cannot identify the one on the left either. The flipper made me think that maybe that was a DSK Tactical, but maybe not. There it is. There's the photo. Jim with the American Dream. Look at that. That's exactly what I needed. Blue skies. It's storming here. Blue skies, green fields, and a good EDC. Look at that. He's got the, that looks like a new model baton. That's not the baton 3. That's the baton 4, right? Man. Looking good. All the way around. Fantastic. All right. All right, I'm going to catch up with the chat. Paul Mills says, too many knives I want right now. I need to quit buying and start modding some more of my existing knives. Man, I think I've ran out of Spydercos to modify. So if I want to modify any more, I'm going to have to get more Spydercos. I'm really hoping that we can get in on a Sage in Rex 121, or that Spyderco releases either an exclusive or a sprint run of the Bodacious in a steel other than S30V. Will it happen? Probably. When will it happen? I have no idea. Ian says, if you took an ABW Model 2 back in the 30s, it would fit right in. If you took an American Blade Works Model 2 back in the 30s, it would fit right in. It's the milling on the handle scales, right? Look at that. It's like the diner style, like the early 30s diner style milling. It's classy. It's classy. And I like it. I like it a lot. It is stupidly thin there behind the edge. The blade disappears when I try to show it like that. It's not super thin on the spine though, I'll say that. It's thinner behind the edge than the Neutron 2, but the Neutron 2 is much thinner blade stock. I don't know if that shows it very well. Yeah. So it's got the Neutron 2 beat behind the edge marginally, but not in the blade stock. So both of these knives perform extremely well. The difference is that this one just has more robust blade stock. Rambo says, as Knife Dope always says, love a big pair of tits on a knife. He does always say that. He has other sayings too. He's pretty funny, man. Javon says, yeah, flipper only, and Matt Design has kept it from speaking to me yet. Borrow somebody's. Hold it first. Because I got to say that, at least for me, this feels like one of those knives that could last you a lifetime. And while it is flipper only, it's not too hard to modify these with the thumb stud. And there's a lot of American knife modders out there that you could send this to. They could do that like in an afternoon and send it right back. So it's not like a knife mod that should take very long. You know, I want to put studs on here. When will it happen? I don't know. Is it a super high priority? No. But at some point I will, because this is staying in my collection. This is not going to be up for sale. These are hard to get. They're hard to get your hands on. You know, and it's not the price. The price is one of the reasons why they're hard to get your hands on, because they're an extremely good value. But you definitely want to handle one, Javon. Handle one and then make your decision, because it feels really good to me. B Devious says, I always look forward to seeing Jim's pics. He always has great knives and beautiful pictures.
Oh, yeah.
See, Jim, it's not just me that likes to see the American dream in the background. Craig Vincent says, I was gifted a $400 for a knife purchase last week, but instead of buying a knife or two, I bought steel and tools for cutting and grinding steels. Make sure you share pictures of the final result, because I want to see it. That's super cool. Mr. Eddie says, my American Blade Works is blue, and I agree it needs thumb studs. Mike Martin needs to get it together. He needs to get it together. And you know what? I know that he knows that he needs to do more thumb studs, because on the most recent iteration of the Model 1, the Model 1 button lock, he took away the flipper tab, and right now they are just thumb studs. And also, the CNC milling lines on the blade are way more visible than they were on the previous iterations of the Model 1. So I know that he is listening to people. Where's the thumb stud version of this, Mr. Martin? The people want thumb studs on their Model 2. Make it happen. All right. All right. Rebel Rouser 777 says Shaman and S90V. I'd be all over it. I thought they did one in S90V. They're just never available. All right. All right, guys. So my voice is starting to get really scratchy, at least to my ears. And I'm about to start coughing all over the place. So I am going to go ahead and call it on tonight's live stream. And magically, we're right there at the hour anyways. Guys, thank you so much for showing up on my first live stream back since being sick. I got to say, I love the support. You guys are amazing. You guys are the beating heart of this community, and specifically of my community. Will I make the members only Discord open to the entirety of the audience? Maybe. I don't know yet. We will find out. That is uncertain. What is certain is that we will be back at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Wednesday. That will be the next live stream. That's 8 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern, or 7 p.m. Pacific. I hope that you can make it. If not, I totally understand. But for some of you guys, I will see you soon. And for everybody else, I will see you later. Where are we going? There it is.